Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to CRN here on Tuesday night. I'm finally back in the broadcast booth as Jimmy took over for me last week. I decided to come back in here tonight. So for tonight, we have Chicagoland for the Mid-Atlantic Racing Series. Racing in the trucks. Track length is going to be 1.53 miles. Temperature on the track is going to be 89 degrees. Air temp is going to be 76 with an 8-mile-an-hour wind. A little bit looseness that these drivers have to overcome with it being a high banked, pretty much full throttle almost all the way around. Don't want to be all the way full throttle all the way around the track just because you can go full throttle does not mean you should. Want to save those tires for when you really need them. As so far, qualifying just about ready to be done and over with. As everybody getting loaded on in here, looking at the pace truck. I'll go ahead and get SDK reloaded because it's not working. Give me one quick second. Get all that off your screen. I'm going to go ahead and look at the grid here if it loads up for me. And it does. It's going to be Nate Lee on the pole with Austin Smith in P number 2, Cobe Sutphin in 3rd, Brandon Puffenbarger in 4th, Brendan Stubbs in 5th, Gary Donnellan in 6th, Anthony Garland in 7th, Wesley Triplett in 8th, Curtis Cairns in 9th, Caleb McKinney in 10th, Lance Brantlinger in 11th, 12th is going to be Jarrett Larder. Get on over here. 13th is going to be Ryan Holler. 14th, Thomas Stanley. 15th, Jared Mayo. 16th is going to be Chad McNeil. 17th, Wayne Garland. 18th, Adam Nicely. 19th, Logan McNeil. 20th is going to be Joshua Neal. 21st is going to be Michael Smith. 22nd is going to be Quentin Sutphin. 23rd is going to be Justin Shank. 24th, Evan Logue. 25th is going to be Cameron Combs. And 26th is going to be Casey Gross. 26 cars out here on the track, even though it's just say Chance is out here racing. He is not. He is our race control, in live race control here tonight. But going to be a fun race altogether, no matter what is going on. Still going to be a fun one. Hopefully everybody out there is enjoying their days. And thank you for being part of us on Tuesday night with CRN in the Mid-Atlantic Racing Series. If you want to get in on the action, make sure you find them on Facebook and get involved with the league and see if you want to come out and get some racing in. $108 laps for tonight's race. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be Chicagoland, I believe, under the lights. So it kind of looks like they're going to be racing with a little bit of darkness added on to the racetrack, but definitely going to be something fun to watch. I mean, the slickness of the track and everything that was going on. But it's going to be Nate Lee with the green flag starting the John Deere. Number 16 with Austin Smith in the Napa Know-How. Number 23 throwback to Chase Elliott from Darlington. Well, they're going to bring us to the green flag, and we are underway as Barney's got the green flag in his hand, waving it for the first time in Chicagoland. We are green flag racing all the way down into turns number 1 and 2, still side by side. Nobody's really getting any type of run on each other is towards the back. We're already 3 wide, but Austin Smith is probably going to have the advantages. He's going to be on the outside, and that's pretty much where you want to be at later in the run. Towards the beginning of the run, you want to be on the inside, want to stay away from that wall. If somebody got the wall coming off of exit, still going to be side by side. Austin Smith trying to get the race lead off of Nate Lee. Nate Lee still has the inside. He's going to run the middle, though. He's going to slide up just a little bit. Almost gets into the side of Austin Smith, but kept it off of him. Is now they're going to be single file, and Austin Smith able to get the race lead back on here with the number 74 Wesley Triplett with the dummy racing at number 74 machine down on the inside of the number 35, trying to take away that position, not able to do so, as the 35 is going to get into the wall on that outside lane. And here he comes down to the inside of the number 10 of Kobe Suffin. In the Lakers purple and yellow Chevy Silverado. Look at that now. The top 5 or 6 or so are going to be single file. The 81's hard on the outside wall. Can't get it off of it. The Syndicate number 81 just lets everybody go on by, puts himself into the wall as he's going to lose more spots. Back here towards the back, Joshua Neal trying to look down to the inside of the number 6 of Chad McNeil. Pass wasn't going to be there. Now he's going to try to regroup and see if he just can't get there one more time. Chase the The 12 of Logan McNeil looking down to the inside of Josh Neal. 6 going to slide all the way back up. So Chad going to be able to get on around him, and now they're going to be side by side, the 12 and the 82. Going to be side by side, but here comes, it looks like the number, I don't know what number it is, the 2? Is it the 2? No, it's 21 of Adam Nicely down to the inside of that Budweiser. They're 3 wide. Somebody hard on the outside wall. They're off pace. Is Jared Amayo with the number 25. Try to make his way up through the leaderboards. Looking at it now, everybody's still doing what they need to do to have a clean truck. Obviously, running the outside is going to be a little bit temperamental. If they end up getting into the wall, that's not what they want to do or want to have. As so far, so good. 9 laps in out of 108, still green flag. This series brought to you by Blues Racing Designs. It looked like Adam Nicely getting into the outside wall just a little bit. He's going to lose 1 position. Here comes the number 15, Cameron Combs. He started towards the back. He's going to work his way up to the front. Is so far so good for the number 15, trying to do what he can. Try to get that thing off of your screen. It just doesn't seem to want to come off. So reload it. Alright, there we go. Let me reload the SDK one more time. Give me one quick second. So far, so good with all the racing that we've had here tonight. Everybody's doing what they need to do and keeping it nice and clean. Go ahead, let's see what else is exciting out here on the racetrack. We'll be right back. I'm not sure exactly why that is sitting right in the middle of the screen. Tried getting it off and it's just not going off at all, so I do apologize for everybody out there, as SDK might be doing a little bit of a lag here, but Austin Smith out to a decent little margin of the race lead. Moving on back through the field, there's still going to be single file for the most part. Top 5 single file, 6 is going to be single file as well, right behind. But he's got a little bit of a gap to make up. That's going to be Brandon Puffenbarger and the number 5 Bass Trackers Toyota. Gary Donnellan getting passed by the number 2 of Jared Larder, Week 1 winner. Looking to capitalize on another race win here tonight with lap number 16 out of 108. So far, so good. Everybody's still single file, lap number 16 out of 108. And so far, so good for a lot of these drivers. Everybody giving it enough room, letting it run out the way that it needs to run. See if we can get this off of your screen here, so everybody can start seeing the live timing on where everybody is. But so far it is your top 10 as of right now. It's going to be Austin Smith, Kobe Something, Nate Lee, Brendan Stubbs, Wesley Triplett, Brandon Puffenbarger, Jared Larder, Lance Brantlinger, Gary Donnellan, and Caleb McKinney is your top 10. Want to thank everybody out there who has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Want to thank everybody out there who has continued to follow our success all the way through the YouTube ranks, as we are on our next quest of 1,200 subscribers. So if you guys haven't already and you guys want to, go ahead, hit that like button, smash the follow button, or the subscribe button, hit the little bell notification so you guys don't miss anything that CRN has to offer, as we have racing essentially all throughout the week. No matter what, we always have something that could pique the interest of any viewer. Because we have the Core Racing League, Mid-Atlantic Racing Series, we have UCRL, we got NIS Truck Series, we got the Demon Truck Series, we have the Ghost Cup Series, Casual Sim Racing League. We have anything and everything for the viewer at hand. There's almost a little bit of a contact there between Gary Donnellan and the number 76 of Caleb McKinney. Gary really throwing it on in there, getting on around the number 76. Going to keep it right there in the middle and not going to let it go. Is just a lot of different varieties of racing. I mean, you got stock cars, you got road racing, you got it all there at here on a CRN. So make sure, if you guys haven't already, drop us a like and follow, and we'll definitely see you at the track. But while we are 22 laps in, we're going to go ahead and play our first commercial of the night, sponsored by Blues Race Design, as they came on board to sponsor this series. So I want to thank you, Mr. Noah Owens, for doing that. And we'll be right back.
Did you guys know that the state of Texas has many programs?
And we are back. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this yellow flag incident that has happened. As we're going to watch it, Justin Shank in the number 25. No, Justin Shank in the 25. He's in the number 71. He's going to get tagged by the number 25 who got to the wall. He's going to come back onto the racing surface. And with him not spinning out, but Jared Mayo spinning out, that's going to be the cause of caution at number 1 here tonight. Is definitely not a good way to start for the number 6 or the 71 and the number 25 of Jared Mayo. Get on back to the live action, and still not sure why the live timing isn't showing, why it's doing that. Let me see here. Let me see if that helps it out. There we go. Finally ended up getting it fixed there. So I do apologize for everybody that had to deal with that. Right there in the middle of your screens is we finally get it back looking right. We'll turn on the track map for everybody out there who is wanting to see where the action is throughout the entire race. But 23 green flag laps, everybody going in, taking those tires, getting those situated down there in pit lane. Obviously everybody wants to be able to be up here towards the front, but Kobe's going to be able to jump Austin Smith into pit lane. He's going to get preferred lane choice, and he's going to be able to start the race whenever he wants to start it, as that could be critical here at Chicagoland. But obviously, with it being Chicago, it could go one of two ways. It could be off the restart. It could be a real looseness fest, or the truck could be snugged up and ready to go. We're going to find that out here momentarily. Is getting ready to come on around to take possibly 2 to green. No, they're choosing this time. So choosing this time, pace lights are going to be off. And you can see it there. A lot of drivers taking the outside. Is so far Nate. Yeah, Nate and the 10 of Kobe Sutphin were the only two of the top 5 to take the inside. Jared Larder went to the inside. So he's going to jump up a lot of spots, going from the back all the way up to the front pretty much. Austin Smith, Austin Smith and the number 35 of Brandon Stubbs, both on the outside. So we're definitely going to see what kind of restarts these drivers can get, see who's going to pull alongside of one another, and who's going to regain that race lead. Excuse me, 26 laps into this 108 lap race. Got this nice little green flag running. Going to see if we can get ourselves another one. We're getting ready to go to the Geico restart zone. Barney's got the green flag in his hand. We are back on our way here from Chicago. You see how many people really took that outside lane. Going to go to the outside. And already top 3. Single file, Austin Smith going to fall in line into P number 2. Down to that inside, he's going to have a really good run though. He's going to look down to the inside of Kobe. Going to be pulling up alongside of him, but Nate Lee's going to be bump drafting him all the way down the backstretch. And Austin Smith really taking it down to that inside lane. Going to do a little bit of a slide job maneuver there. He's going to take over the race lead. Is Austin Smith back to where he wants to be. Going to look off the rear bumper of the number 23 machine to show you exactly what he's seeing in his mirrors. Is you can see here a bunch of 2 wide action, single file right behind him. But what he really wants to see is everybody get side by side, bump draft, do whatever they got to do, or not bump draft, side draft. Slow all the others down so he can start pulling on away. Austin Smith pretty much going right where he was when he left off, and Nate Lee's going to be right back in P number 2. Kobe Sutphin dropping it terribly. Not sure what's going on with the number 10 machine. Maybe a little bit of antics to save some tire wear out here at Chicagoland. Obviously, if you're over driving the truck, you're going to burn more tires than you want to burn. But looking at it here, everybody playing a dangerous game with that wall coming off of turn number 4. But while we have this, we're going to go ahead and play our commercials. We'll be right back. I want to thank everybody out there who's tuning on in. Great racing all the way in and through. 33 laps out of a 108. And so far, the 35s looking down to the inside. Brandon Stubbs going to try to look to P number 2 of Nate Lee. Not going to be there that time by. Going to have to set up the pass here at Chicagoland. You don't want to run right where they are. but you just want to be able to run what they are running. With a truck, you don't really want to be right behind the one in front of you, as you'll get arrow tight and push up to the outside wall. Kind of want to flick it on in, drive it off the right rear. I learned that from Nathan Nicholson, an EPI driver in Chicagoland 1 week. That was my jam. I ran 38 races on the open set side of things and won about 15 of them. There's Brandon Puffenbarger down here looking down to the inside of the number 35. He's going to take it down low. 35 is going to be up top shelf, high side racing. Not going to be able to get clear off turn number 2. After these 4, you got a nice little gap, and then you have the next group of cars, and then you have another nice gap, and then you have the rest of the field following on behind them. So 3 groups of cars on out here, trying to do what they can to surpass and get themselves a win in this series. I'm going to go ahead and look on back here. Caleb McKinney right in front of the number 12 of Logan McNeil, trying to catch up to the number 4, as the 4 is looking down to the inside of Jared Larder. We're right on board with this. Jared Larder is going to have to use the middle or the outside. He's going to choose to run the middle, so Gary can't use any type of slide job. I'm going to pitch him off the exit. Gary got tight, went all the way up to the top of the track. Is Jared Larder using that outside to his advantage. Gary gets really loose coming off the corner, takes it all the way down to the apron, and not going to be able to make the pass. We're going to switch it over to a more exciting camera here. Caleb McKinney right behind the number 4, looking to try and get himself up here towards the front. A lot of these drivers taking advantage of the schedule. Wherever these trucks run that week, that's where the league race is going to be at. We had, I believe it was Nashville Super Speedway last week, where, I'll tell you who won. Last week was Nashville Super Speedway. Nate Lee won that 128 lap debut. This week we have Chicagoland. Next week we have our one and only road course of the season, Watkins Glen International Speedway, for 48 laps. That's going to be a good one to watch. I can't wait to see these drivers go left and right, especially at Watkins Glen. That's just one of those racetracks where it just love it. It's super easy. A lot of people know how to, know the layout of Watkins Glen. That's going to be our one and only road course of the season. But while we're under green flag conditions, we're going to go ahead and turn the volumes down, turn these trucks up, let you guys get the sights and sounds of these trucks thundering on around Chicagoland Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on the CRN under our second yellow flag of the night. Not exactly sure what happened. I'm going to scroll up, see if so went off track. We're going to see here. Oh, okay, there it is. So go ahead and rewind it here. See what happened to the number 71. I think he was trying to get into pit lane and just misjudged it completely. So we're going to watch here. Following the number 71, a Carhartt machine. Went down low, trying to get himself into pit lane, hit that apron. Just couldn't get it slowed down in time. Locked him on up. Oh, he missed pit lane. He wasn't going to make it. Took a hard right. Oh, tried to gassing it up and then spins it back out. Takes all the way down to the inside grass. Now what you want to see is pit stops being made out here tonight. There's been some good racing all the way in and through, though, even though we've had these two cautions. Still going to be good enough for a good rest of the run. So this is going to be one of two streams here tonight. We're going to have another one right after this. It's going to be the Demon Truck League. As they are racing at Kentucky tonight. As everybody is going on in, getting there. As everybody's getting their everybody got in there, got their tires, got some more fuel put in their trucks. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing conditions here at Chicagoland. We've seen a couple of really good green flag runs. Can't wait to see how many more we end up seeing. We're going to end up going and getting double filed up here for the restart. There's going to be a good one here tonight. Austin Smith did not regain the race lead. Nate Lee is going to be your race leader. Austin Smith's all the way back here in P number 18. He must have been one of the drivers that went down into pit lane to service that number 23 machine before that caution ended up coming on out. They're going to get the wave around, go all the way back around to the racetrack and to get themselves back in line, as everybody else is going to go ahead and do the choose rule. 16 of Nate Lee going to go ahead and take the inside. Gary Donnellan in P number 2s. He's going to take the out. Wesley Triplett going to take the inside. The 12 is going to go to the outside. So far, the biggest mover in question is going to be Logan McNeil in that number 12. He's up 15 positions from where he started, but Cameron Combs is also up 15 positions. So it's going to be a nice little battle between these two. The biggest drop is going to be Kobe, down 18. Austin is down 16. And then once you get past them, you get up to Casey Gross, who's up 13. Then Quentin's up 9. Curtis is down 3. Michael's up 10. Cameron's up 15. Well, now it's saying 17. And just a bunch of stuff moving on around. Getting ready to go green this time by 60 laps out of 108 are complete here tonight. Going over to Barney the Flagman, and oh, he's awake. He's got the green flag in his hand. Oh, we're going to delay the yellow one more time. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and get the yellow, or get the green delayed just before the green flag came on out. Give these gentlemen some more time to get situated going on in through the field. See them all going to go all the way on around. Pace cars are going to go ahead and go on by. See them all just kind of relaxing, taking their time. Want to make sure the lineup gets set up properly here tonight, as we've had a lot of drivers out here for this race. And I can't wait to see how it ends up unfolding for the end of this 108 lap adventure. So far, so good for all these drivers. Everybody keeping it somewhat clean. A little bit of beating and banging here and there just off of the corners, especially with the outside wall, but that is just something that does tend to happen. Pace truck going to go down into pit lane this time by. Going to be green flag racing. Naley with the jump on the outside. He's going to go off and away, and we are back to racing here at Chicagoland. There we go. Naley out to the early advantage. Going to go ahead and ride on board with Caleb McKinney, who's back here in the back. Austin Smith already making up some positions. Getting on around is going to be Austin Smith. He's going to be on a tear, getting himself all the way back up to the front. He is not wasting any time whatsoever. Going to keep it down low. Has a major run. Going to look down to the inside of the number 71 and the number 27. A 2-for-1, maybe a 4-for-1. 5, 6, 7. He's picking up spots like they're nothing. He's already cracked himself back up to the top 10. So Austin Smith has that truck set on race mode. He wants to get himself up here and make his name known with another race win on the night. So Austin Smith is going to try and do whatever he can to get himself put in a good position to get back up to the lead pack. He's already up to P number 9. Gets on around Curtis Carnes. Is already back into the top 10. I don't think I've seen anybody move through the field that quick like I just seen Austin Smith do. Austin Smith making that pass on to P at number 8, moving himself back up to the top 8. Kobe doing the exact same thing. He's all the way back up to P number 16 as he fell back down in the order a lot. He didn't make his way up through the field like Austin Smith did, as he's going to get passed by Adam nicely down to the inside. Kobe going to try and do what he can. Oh, almost came down in the number 21 machine, but ended up making it work down there on the inside. Great racing all the way in and through this pack. Everybody doing what they need to do to keep it off of each other. So far, so good. We have 40 laps to go this time by. Even though we had those 2 cautions, race still going by fairly quickly. There's still single file up here, the 81 making his way all the way up the racetrack. He's in P number 6. Austin Smith kind of fizzled out down there in P number 8. Doesn't want to use up his tires too much. Wants to be able to get all the way up there towards the front. Anything can happen. I believe there's going to be one more pit stop. I believe there's going to be one more pit stop for these drivers in their mirrors. As it looks like Lance Brantlinger might have taken that number 88 machine back to the hauler. Going to see if he's actually out there anymore. He is. So the 88 of Lance Brantlinger is out there on the racetrack. He's just 8 laps down. Not sure what happened to him earlier in the race. Just ended up losing all those positions. Going to look back up here in P number 9 is Austin Smith looking down to the inside of Cameron Combs. He's taking it all the way down to the apron. Cameron's going to rip the wall. And it's going to be Cameron Combs coming away with that position. 21 cars on the lead lap, 22, and then the last 4, or last 5, I should say. Last 5 are multiple, or 1 lap to multiple laps down. Nate Lee still with the race lead over Wesley Triplett at the number 74. 73 laps out of 108, and everybody has pretty much found their spot where they want to be at. Single file. Don't want to get caught up racing each other the way that they need to be racing. But the biggest mover is going to be the number 15 as of right now, up 19 positions from where he started. The biggest drop is going to be Kobe Sutphin, who is down 21. And who is now a couple laps down, or 1 lap down. Not sure what's going on with the number 10 machine. He's just out here trying to get some laps in. Maybe the truck's just a little bit too loose for him. As looking right now, the 4 all over the back bumper of Wesley Triplett. As he's going to try and make the pass. But me, honestly, if I'm running like this and I know the leader's got that much of an advantage on me, I'd want to draft with the number 74, get him all the way up to the race leader, and try to make it a 3-car race. I mean, you got Austin Smith back there in P number 8. You don't have to worry about him as of right now. Just kind of take the time, get yourself up there to the race leader, see if you just can't make it a 3-car battle. For the race lead is Gary Donelin. Really wants to get on around the number 74, just not able to get it done. Is Austin Smith now has to get around the number 81 machine. We're going to see where he's going to put that number 23. He's going to put it up on the outside wall. We're going to ride on board on the nose of Austin Smith. A little bit of throttle blip there. Using that outside to his advantage. But he's not picking up any ground on the number 81. The 15 getting really close to that outside wall. I thought maybe he was going to put that right side in it and get the Chicagoland stripe, as others would say, the Darlington stripe. But since we're not at Darlington, we can't call it that. But they're trying to keep this race as green as long as possible. Looking down there now, Michael Jr. Smith, late join to the broadcast. Number 45, Michael Smith, and 23 of Austin Smith. Good luck to the both of you. So Michael Smith out there throwing it on down. Austin Smith looking down to the inside. He's got a really good run that time. We're going to go ahead and over to the wheel, take it all the way up to the outside. Just not going to be able to be there, as we have 30 laps to go this time by. Still going to be side by side with the number 28. Want to cut it down underneath that apron, get that good run. I don't know what it is about cutting the apron like that, but you get so much of a run that it's kind of like what you want to do. Nate Lee is kind of just pulling on away. He's got a 1.1 second gap over Wesley Triplett, who is under hot fire from Brandon Stubbs, who has caught Gary Donnellan and passed Gary Donnellan with ease. Now he's got to get around, find a way around that number 74 of Wesley and put himself up there in contention to win this race with just shy or just over 20 laps to go. Anything can happen. Austin Smith still trying to get on around the number 81. The 81's gonna let him by this time, so move Austin Smith up to P at number 7. Not sure what happened to the number 81 machine, but he went into pit lane. So the 81 and 82 into pit lane this time by. That means the pit stop's going to be happening here momentarily for a lot of these drivers, for everybody. But it's when do you want to go down and in? And get those tires. $26 laps to go. Definitely going to be something fun here to watch. But we're going to go ahead and cut over to our last You Love to Hear It for the night. And then we're going to come back commercial free, no nothing. We'll be right back. our third caution of the night. We're going to go ahead and look and see what happens. It's going to be Evan Logue, who is caused of the caution. Stopped up there on the outside of the racetrack. Going to go ahead and rewind it, see what happened to the number. I don't even know what number he is. 69 of Evan Logue. Oh, coming out of pit lane, I believe he just stood on the throttle just a little bit too hard. Those fresh tires just did not work in his favor. Oh yeah, so man, that truck just instantly hooked right. He did the right thing, locked it on down, kept it turned into the outside wall. Everybody able to miss him, but he was able to get that car turned back around once the track was clear. But it's going to be 18 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Definitely going to be a good one to watch, as everybody's on their own playing field. Austin Smith's going to be back in P 10. 9th is going to be Logan McNeil. 8th is going to be Cameron Combs. 7th is Thomas Stanley. 6th, Quentin Sutphin. 5th is going to be Casey Gross. 4th, Brandon Stubbs. 3rd, Nate Lee. 2nd is going to be Brandon Puffenbarger. In your pole position here right now is going to be Wesley Triplett in that number 74. So a lot of different leaders here tonight, but a lot of drivers got to get the wave around too. So definitely going to be something fun to see what happens here. Brandon Puffenbarger not able to get a win just yet, but he's always near the front where it matters. So we'll go to see if the number 5 machine can get it done here tonight, or maybe even the 16, the 35, the 27, 62, 77, 15, 12, or even the number 23. It's not about how you start the race, it's always about how you finish it. A lot of these drivers want to finish it on a high note. So definitely going to be something fun to watch. I'm going to go back to racing with about 16, 17 laps to go. Maybe even 15. But definitely going to be a fun one out here. Everybody ended up getting that wave around and going to get themselves back up to where they need to be. And then we got the choose rule in effect. That is going to determine which lane everybody wants to have. And so far, everybody is double filed up already. I believe they might have made their mind up on what lane they want to have. And I don't know, man. If I was the 74, I'd want to potentially put it up on that outside lane. But that's just me. Come Thursday, though, you're going to see a different side of things. I'm actually going to register for the session on Thursday night, and I'm going to give you a lap around Kentucky in the next gen from my point of view on how I would have run it. So make sure you guys watch out for that, as I'm actually going to break out the sim rig, get into the car, and run a few laps around Kentucky and show you guys what I'm feeling, show you guys how I would attack Kentucky in the next gen on Thursday night. So make sure you tune into that. We're going to see a broadcaster get down in the race car one more time. pace car going on around. Austin Smith went down into pit lane to top off, get everything that he needed done. So here we go. The final 14 laps under green flag conditions. Not sure what's going on with Austin Smith. He's still in pit lane. Might be an early night for the number 23. Yeah, he's still down there. Not sure what's going on. But pace truck going to go ahead and go off into pit lane this time by. Barty's got the green flag in his hand. No, he's got the yellow flag. So they're going to extend the yellow. Getting everybody lined up where they need to be. We'll take one more lap on around here for the time being. Definitely not what they want to do or see. Is maybe they'll be going down into pit lane, or the pace truck will be going down into pit lane this time by. Going to start these drivers off and get themselves back to green flag conditions. But look here. What does he have in his hand? He's got the green flag in his hand. So Barty knows the call. He's going to call the action. Pace truck going to dive down into pit lane. Top row is going to be Wesley Triplett and Nate Lee. Through the Geico restart zone, we are back underway. Wesley going to be able to get that good run off into turns number 1 and 2. Going to be clear. Take his way all the way up to the top shelf. Then all the way back on down. His green flag is back on out. Going to look down at the backstretch as they all going to come flying on by. And Chicagoland is such a unique track. It's not a straight line into turns number. Oh, Brandon Puffenbarger loose. Good save by the number 5 machine, Brandon Puffenbarger. Now he's going to be stuck 3 wide in the middle, 15 up top. 27 down low. He got really loose coming off of the corner. Thought he was going to bid it, but he didn't. 12 laps to go here tonight. '62 is going to be under fire. They're going to be 3 wide at 62. Has to take it underneath the apron. I don't think that's where he wants to be. Thomas Stanley getting passed by the number 12 and the number 6 of Logan McNeil and Brendan Stubbs. But it's all Wesley Triplett out front with the race lead. You got Nate Lee in P number 2, and then you got Cameron Combs in P number 3. Our biggest mover of the night, up 23 positions. We're going to try to make it 25 if he can get there in 11 laps time. Austin Smith still in the pit lane. Not sure what's going on with the number 23 machine, but he's going to be packing it up and going to be done for the rest of the night. Nate Lee looking down to the inside for the race lead. Really on each other there. Side by side. This is going to be the battle for the lead with 9 laps to go, and that's what Cameron needs. Cameron wants these two to start battling this hard. That's going to make it a 3-car race. Nate Lee looking down to the inside. He's going to be clear of Wes. Not anymore. Wesley with a run on that outside. Caution flag is out. The 77 getting involved. We're going to go ahead and go back and look at this CRN replay, see what happens. Oh, the 77 getting a little bit loose on that outside. You can see him already turning the wheel back to the left or the right to get it straightened back out. The 84 on that outside. He's going to overcorrect into the outside wall. He's going to come up off of the wall. The 6 has no idea. Oh, neck code between the 84 and the 6, or the 77, is these two. I'm going to go ahead and have a little bit of a yard sale moment there. He's going to get all the way up to the outside wall. And that's going to be the caution here tonight. Yard sale for the number 6 machine. So if you guys want any memorabilia from the number 6 machine, go on down to the pit lane. They'll have it out there ready for you, autographed and everything from the number 6. But 7 laps to go here tonight. Definitely going to want to see how this race ends up playing out. I think as of right now, pace car getting ready to go down into pit lane. One more lap around here for Chicagoland under pacing conditions. Then we're going to go back to our green flag race. Going to be something fun to watch. Can Wesley hold off Nate Lee? They were going to have a great battle on their hands, but then the caution came out. Wesley down to the inside, Nate Lee on the top. 6 laps to go. Don't count out the number 27 and don't count out the number 15. It could be a 4-car race here going into the final lap. Going into the final laps of tonight's bout. Marty with the green flag in his hand. Pace truck going to make that hard left turn down into pit lane. We're going to go back to racing here momentarily. Through the Geico restart zone. Wesley going to lead them on back. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin from a lot of the drivers. 3 wide already. Going into turns number 1 and 2. 35, it looks like he took some tires. He's going to be on a rampage coming all the way up into through the field. We're going to go ahead and ride on board with Brandon Stubbs in the number 35 Coors machine. Not looking to make it 3 wide, but back all the way up to the front. We got a 3-car battle. Wesley's got to play the defensive line here. He's got to pinch just a little bit and make sure that Nate Lee cannot throw the slide job on the number 74. But while he's doing that, he's got to pay attention to the number 15 right behind both of them. 4 laps to go here for the race. Nate Lee, Cameron Combs, and the 74 Wesley triplet. Don't count out Brandon Puffenbarger as he's back in it now. 4 cars. Coming around here to see what they can do. Wesley did end up losing the race lead there, but going to regain it back right away. 3 laps to go. This is going to be one of the closest finishes that we're going to see if these guys can keep it clean. Side by side, 2 rows deep. 4-car battle. Logan McNeil not out of the hunt either. And that number 12 machine, he's got the prime position. He's in 5th. If these 4 get together, it could be bad as Wesley got cleared by the number 16 momentarily. Jumped right back up to that outside. Nate Lee's going to get hooked. Almost got hooked. Got a little bit loose coming off of the exit, but still making it the way that it needs to be. Wesley trying to do what he can. A little bit of net code bump in there between the 16 and the 74. White flag this time by. It's going to be a good one. Who's it going to be? Oh, they touch. They get together. It's going to end the race for the number 74. Looking up here, the 74 is now getting passed by the number 5, Brandon Puffenbarger. Going to go ahead and take the race lead from Nate Lee. Brandon Puffenbarger going to slide up right in front of him. Side by side is going to be Brandon Puffenbarger getting the race win. Second is going to be Nate Lee. Third is going to be Logan McNeil. But while we have that, we got to watch that whole last lap once again. Watch it from this point of view. They go down into turns number 1 and 2. Wesley holding it there on that line. The 16 is going to come up, give him a nice little shot coming off of turns number 3 and 4. And then this is where it gets interesting here. Wesley goes up to the outside and then just cuts it down. I have to rewind it just a little bit more. He's going to go ahead and cut it down as soon as he gets into the corner, thinking that Nate Lee's going to try to do the slide job. He wasn't going to try and do it. But these two are going to end up tagging each other. That's going to ruin the run from the number 15. And then, obviously, Wesley Triplett going to go sliding. And, I mean, he was at such just a bad place to be. Tire link is broken. He can't really steer the car. But these two doing a battle here for the race lead. Brandon Puffenbarger going to be able to come up off of the corner as your race leader and your race winner. As he is not doing any burnouts here tonight. But we're going to go ahead and back this on up. And we're going to go ahead and get our third place finisher. Logan McNeil in the broadcast booth. See if we just can't find him. Oh, he's already in the broadcast booth. Logan, this is Dylan in the CRA broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, buddy. I guess you could say right place, right time when it needed to happen. And, I mean, you were there. Obviously, it was a 5-car battle for the race lead. The 2 leaders got together, and then you were there to take over P number 3.
Yep. Just a battle the whole day, coming from, I think I started in 18th, just battling my way all the way up through the field, and that ending was incredible. That was a really fun race.
That it was. I mean, we didn't really get to see a lot of you. We didn't talk a lot about you. You kept yourself quiet. You stayed out of the trouble. You were just one of those types of people that were just there to have fun, kind of learn everybody's racing habits, and just get yourself up there into the podium position. You were up 16 positions from where you started. Just fell short of the biggest mover from Cameron, who was up 22. But still, you said you battled all day long. How was the grip level at Chicagoland? Because for me, running on the open setup side of things, I know that the track could be fairly loose, but with it being a night race, was the grip level there, or was it kind of you had to watch and make sure you were doing what you needed to do to get through the corners?
Grip level was definitely there. I felt in practice and qualifying it wasn't, and then as soon as we got in here and got going, I felt like there was a lot more grip, and I was able to move on through.
Yeah, able to move on through there. Obviously, next week we go to a road course. I don't know how you're going to do with the road course. I haven't seen you guys race on a road course. I don't know if anybody likes road courses. Me personally, with it being Watkins Glen, it's my second favorite, right behind Suzuka. But what's it going to take for you to get another podium position or even a top 10 or a top 5 at Watkins Glen next week?
A whole lot of practice this week. I'm not real good at Watkins Glen. I'm not real good at road courses. Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of practice and a lot of dedication this week.
Yeah, I mean, road course racing is not for the faint of heart. I mean, it does take some skill. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the best road course racer out there. I just know what it takes to get the job, just to finish, I guess you could say.
Right,
but Logan, it's been a pleasure having you up here at the broadcast booth, talking to you for the first time this season.
Yep.
If there's anybody out there on that number 12 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Oh yeah, definitely give a shout out to number 6, Chad McNeil. That's my dad. He struggled tonight. He kind of said some stuff over the radio, like Kyle Busch would say. But just keep your head up, Dad, and good racing.
All right. Well, I was wondering if you guys were brothers or if it was dad and son trio, and now we figured it out. It's dad and son trio. Yep. I think you're the one of 3 father-son duos.
There's a couple. Yep.
Yeah, you got Wayne and Anthony, you and your dad, and I think Michael Smith and Austin Smith.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, see, maybe I should get my dad out here, and I'll stop broadcasting, and I'll start racing, and we can go from there.
No doubt.
All right, buddy, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out here. Celebrate that third-place finish here tonight. Go get some practice in for next week. And if you ever need any help, message me. I can get on, send you a lap or two at Watkins Glen, and get you set up right.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yep. All righty, that's going to be our third-place finisher of Logan McNeil. Going to go ahead and grab our second-place finisher. That's going to be Nathan Lee. Nate, this is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dylan, I've got you.
All right, buddy. You had a phenomenal race all race long. Obviously, the beginning of the race, you were trying to track down Austin Smith there for the first part of the race. But once you got the race lead, it was pretty much you didn't want to look back. And then, obviously, the timely cautions coming out there towards the end kind of helped you catapult yourself up to the front, being in P number 2, P number 3, wherever you needed to be. But you ended up being where you wanted to be, coming to the final lap. Kind of walk us through how your race went and what you were experiencing, and then kind of lead us into how everything happened on that final lap.
Well, I think one of the biggest things for the way these things have been racing is, it's a new truck, and the dirty air has never really made a difference for me in the past, but this week I could tell that the dirty air was definitely there. So getting out front, once I was able to get out there, it was good. And then, there at the end, me and Wesley were racing great. It was so much fun, and I hate that it finished the way that it did, but I don't think I've ever had that much fun on iRacing. I'm sure it was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I mean, I thought from the broadcaster's perspective, you can go back and watch the replay as well. I went back through after the checkered flag. It looked like he was trying to cover the slide job that potentially you would have thrown in turn number 1, and he just misjudged. You were going to possibly, I would think, run the middle lane, and he just kind of turned down just a little bit too quick on you, and it just ended up costing him the spin and then going on from there. So, no harm, no foul, just hard racing, trying to get that position. You guys were going back and forth. It didn't matter where it was on the track. You guys were you were down on the inside, he was on that outside, which obviously later on the run, the outside's where you're wanting to be with it being a more defensive line. But then again, with a new truck, it just got to find out the nooks and crannies about that. But other than that, great racing all the way around. We've seen you win Nashville Super Speedway last week as I was away due to a family emergency. I had Jimmy Covert in the broadcast booth for that one. But, come home with a P number 2 here tonight. Can't be too mad about it. Next week, you got Watkins Glen. What's your expectations for next week?
I don't really know. This is my first season with this group, and I'm loving the racing so far. So next week is the first road course race. So I don't really know what to expect, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be something different, obviously, because the trucks don't really run Watkins Glen. We're taking it to that era, and we're going to put them at Watkins Glen. So can't wait to see what happens there next week. But, Nate, before we let you get on out of here, if there's anybody on that number 16 John Deere you want to give a shout-out to, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man, like always, I'd like to thank my wife for the support that she gives me. We had a lot of fun tonight, so thank you, man.
All right, buddy, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that second place finish here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
All right, see you, Dylan.
This is going to be our second place finisher of Nate Lee. Going to go ahead and move on up to our first place finisher. That's going to be the number 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger. Get him on up in here. As we are now joined by the number 5 of Brandon Puffenbarger. Brandon, this is Dylan, the CRN broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Brandon, you were at the right place, right time, there towards the end. You were up towards the front. You were back towards the back. It seemed like you figured out the track and the truck pretty fairly early. You had one of the best saves of the night, too. I mean, coming off the yellow flag, going through, I believe it was turns number 1 and 2, or maybe it was 3 and 4, coming off the corner, getting a little bit loose. Didn't get into anybody else, didn't get in the wall, ended up resetting yourself, getting your head back into the game, and putting yourself right where you needed to be.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised I didn't wad the field up right there. My hands were crossed up. But, yeah, it's right place, right time tonight. I mean, Nate's hard to beat sometimes. So is Austin. But, I mean, it was a great show tonight. A few hiccups here and there, but it went fairly well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, not every race is going to be absolutely perfect, and by all means, this race, I would say, was actually pretty damn awesome. I mean, the finish that you guys had all the way through, the racing that we've seen all night long, 108 laps of it, side-by-side action. Then you guys kind of sprawled out, got single file, letting everybody get their bearings together, but that finish, man, you come up off of turn number 4, you went from the wall all the way down to the inside lane, or under the apron, and I mean, that's pretty much how you got to do it, so that way they can't try to cross you back over and under. And now, I mean, man, you got one win so far this season, 3 different winners, 3 different weeks. Now we turn our attention over to a road course. How do you feel about Watkins Glen in the new and improved trucks?
I think it'll be a solid race. I mean, we won't have any caution or anything like that, but I think strategy will play a big part. I know a few of us are pretty quick on road courses and stuff like that, but I think it'll be a solid, decent race. But like you said, 3 different winners, 3 different weeks, and it's probably just going to continue from there. I mean, we got a solid group of fast guys, so it's pretty much anybody's race at any given week.
Yeah, definitely going to be something fun to watch. Can't wait to see what happens next week. But, Braden, before we let you get on out of here, is there anybody on that number 5 machine you'd like to give a shout-out to? The floor is yours.
Just you guys for broadcasting, Chance for doing race control, everybody for coming out. I'll say sorry to the 99, whether it was my fault, his fault, whatever. I'll take the blame for that one when he got into the wall there early in the race. But and also thanks to Snyder Graphics for my new paint scheme for the season.
Alrighty, Brandon, we're going to go ahead and let you get on out of here, celebrate that race win here tonight. Can't wait to see what happens next week, and we'll be talking to you then.
Sounds good.
All right, that's going to be it for our interviews here tonight. We're going to go ahead and close this stream on up, get ready for the next stream, which is going to be Kentucky in the Demon Truck Series. Can't wait to see what happens on that. But Chicagoland, 108 laps up and 108 laps down. Next week is going to be Watkins Glen for 48 laps. Definitely going to be something to watch for. It was definitely fun to watch the Core Racing League do the truck series there at Watkins Glen. So can't wait to see what these drivers can do at Watkins Glen. Let's go to do it for myself up here at the broadcast booth. My name is Dylan McDonald, 4CRN. Make sure you catch me in about 10-15 minutes over at Kentucky. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.